Wij zijn weer terug. Aan het einde van de vorige video hebben wij gezien dat er een bloedbad geweest is in het ziekenhuis. En dat is aangericht door de man die wij zelf helemaal aan het begin van de game het ziekenhuis in hebben gehaald. Hampton. En de opdracht die nu aan ons gegeven is het redden van die man. Ja, kijk hier. Kan ik hier al naar binnen? Nee, die deur zit dicht. Hé, ik kan daar... Als ik buiten ben, kan ik naar binnen kijken. Oh, misschien wil ik dat wel eens eventjes doen. Waarom kan ik daar niet naar binnen lopen? Dat is de vraag. Dat kan ik hier vandaan begluren. Kijk.
How can I be sure I'll not find your unconscious body in the house again?
I promise you'll not find my unconscious body.
For God's sake, how can you say such a thing?
Die moeder maakt zich zorgen.
I tried to warn you for so long.
No, I won't let my only son die. You promised me you'll stay alive.
Your son lied to you, like the whole world lies to us.
Hij is stervende. En de deur is in één keer open. Hebben we nog wat nodig? Ja, Gwyneth Brannigan heeft fatigue. Dus die kunnen we nog eventjes healen.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you require medical assistance, Nurse?
I will be fine. As soon as I can get some sleep.
Hier, geef medicijn.
Nurse, you won't be able to help people if you're sick. Take this. And do try to get some rest.
I'll try, Dr. Reed. Thank you.
Goodbye, Nurse.
Zo kunnen we iedereen een beetje helpen. Oké, die zijn allemaal gezond. Daar is nog iemand met... die Beatrice Goswick. Ja, daar gaan we nu naartoe. Dit is die vrouw die helemaal aangepakt was. Wat doe jij bij dat lichaam?
Oh, Jonathan, I cannot believe my eyes. Poor woman. Butchered by some savage scowl.
Yes, and I'm afraid I'm at least partially responsible. The man, the scowl, I brought him here.
Jonathan, how could you say such a thing?
Forgive me if I feel despondent, for there seems to be no end to the suffering and death that surrounds us.
I'm always here for you, Jonathan.
What do you know of Ascalon? I was threatened by a creature, a vampire in Whitechapel, stating I had to obey the law of conduct.
What more can you tell me about him?
Ja, hij was enorm. Ja.
He was bigger than a man, huge in fact. He seemed to radiate violence. I thought he was going to tear me apart. Then he vanished.
Fergal, the executioner of Ascalon. You were fortunate he was not after you, but rather out doing his master's bidding.
Nou, die gaan we later nog wel tegenkomen, denk ik.
The Ascalon Club are the most powerful vampires in Britain and exert tremendous influence. Take my advice and stay well away.
Nou, dat klinkt als een goed plan.
I have experienced a certain difficulty when faced with holy symbols or trying to enter religious buildings. Have you?
Now that's quite a question. I don't know why, but yes. It has happened to me.
Is this a sign? The hand of God in action? Are we repellent unto heaven?
I don't have the answers, Jonathan. But I believe superstition and magic is just fact awaiting the lens of science.
Aren't you frightened?
Very little scares me, my dear. To be compelled to avoid symbols of faith does not concern me.
Have you embraced this woman, like the other patient, this Mr. Renfield?
Her name was Amelia. And no, I did not kill her. I vowed a very long time ago.
Dus het is niet die vrouw die denkt dat ze een vampier is.
Unless they ask.
Is there sufficient vitality in the blood of the sick and dying patients?
Yes, Jonathan. The hunger gnaws at me every waking hour. Frankly, I'm starving.
Temptation surrounds us. Rich, vital. How can you resist?
Over the years, any pleasure I once gleaned from feeding is long gone. I drink for sustenance. And though I still thirst for more, I restrain myself.
Ja, dat doen wij ook. We gaan ook niet iedereen zomaar
Thank
hier
you, my
killen.
lady. I hope to see you again soon.
En dan gaan we even met die Goswick praten daar binnen. Want de deur was nu weer open, zag ik. Kijk. Die vrouw is vermoeid. Die kunnen we even medicijn toedienen.
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
Do you require medical attention as well, Mrs. Goswick?
Do you know you're the only one who's asked me this? No, I don't feel well, actually.
Kijk, geef medicijn.
Despite what you think about this place, I can tell you with absolute certainty, taking this will help you recover.
Well, at least your reputation seems well deserved. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for this hospital.
Nou, kunnen we nog wat nieuws aan haar vragen nu we ze hebben afgeluisterd? Your son wished to die.
What can you tell me about the recent commotion in the hospital?
It's a disgrace. How on earth can patients be attacked in their own rooms?
Your son wished to die, Beatrice. Why did you hide such crucial information?
Are you not aware suicide is a crime? Mortimer could be thrown in jail. I can't let that happen. I won't.
I understand you fear the legal consequences, Mrs. Goswick. But don't you realize your silence significantly affects your son's case?
All my son needs is help and comprehension. Not
Nou,
judgment.
laten we
and
dat ook eens
punishment
even aan hem
for
zelf
what
gaan
may or may
vragen dan.
not
Dat lijkt me wel verstandig.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Mortimer.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
What can you tell me about the recent commotion in the hospital?
I had shouting coming from the first floor. I was asleep when it started.
Oké.
Admit it, Mortimer. Your mother had you hospitalized here because you tried to kill yourself.
Yes, it's true.
All right then. This is the first time we've really shared information about your case. Shall we call this progress?
Call it what you want, Dr. Reed.
Can I help you in any way, Mr. Goswick?
I wrote a letter for my mother. She was supposed to read it after my death. But I suppose she doesn't have to read it now.
I see. And is this letter still near the place where you tried to take your own life?
Yes. And I don't want anyone reading my last words. I mean, I'm still here. If you bring me back that letter, then perhaps we'll talk.
Oké, klinkt goed.
You can trust me. I won't report you to the authorities. My one and only concern is your health.
I guess I should thank you then.
Oké.
I have to go now.
Dus hij heeft ook ergens
But don't
weer
hesitate
iets
to
achtergelaten wat ik
contact
moet
me
zoeken.
if you need any help.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
En waar dat dan is, dat weten we niet. Kijk, die is een recovering. Dus we hebben iedereen hier weer een beetje geheeld. Wat heeft zij? Pippa Hawkins heeft cold. Daar hebben we ook een
Good evening,
medicijn
Nurse
voor.
Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Do you need medical help yourself, nurse?
I'm afraid I've contracted some illness, Dr. Reed.
Medicijn.
Not
Hier
under my
zo.
watch, nurse. Take this. You'll feel better.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
What can you tell me about the recent commotion in the hospital?
Everybody's afraid. Death has always been a frequent visitor. But murder? How can we cope with that?
As a nurse at this hospital, it is your duty to deal with these things as best you can.
Yeah. Until it's my turn to have blood spread all over the walls. I entered the room first, Dr. Reed. I've seen what that monster did
Wij
to
gaan
the
achter hem aan, Miss Hawkins. Geen stress.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
We gaan hem aanpakken. Die zijn allemaal nog gezond. Kijken of ik even een nieuwe medicatie kan maken die ik net heb uitgegeven. Ik heb een cold medicine gebruikt en een fatigue medicine. Kunnen we daar beide weer een nieuwe van maken? Fatigue. Cold. Ja. Alleen die niet. Ja, fatigue, daar kan ik er wel 100 van maken. Die spullen waar ik er toch zoveel van heb, maak gewoon een voorraadje van 5. Kunnen we even vooruit. Oké, nou, we gaan Sean Hampton vinden bij de docks. En dan gaan we hem, ja, laten zien dat mensen vermoorden niet the way to go is. Dat wordt mijn doel voor nou. Milton Hughes, Quinn Brannigan, Dr. Tippett. Ook helemaal in orde. Clay Cox, ja, die leeft ook nog. Naar de docks moeten we naar beneden. En loopt hier nog die gast met zijn migraine, maar daar kunnen we niks aan doen, want ik heb geen migraine medicijn. Die stamina in de gaten houden. Kijk, hij heeft migraine, maar ik heb geen medicijn voor migraine. Dus ik kan hem niet helpen. Hier moeten we heen. Kijk, daar loopt weer een skal. Hij heeft mij gezien. Maar goed, ik heb hem ook gezien. District status healthy. Nou, dat is gunstig. H.G. Griffin. Dat is een mini-boss. Ja, dat is een mini-boss, H.G. Griffin. Hij is ook dood. Hij lijkt niks gedropt te hebben. Hier liggen dingen, items. Ordered by Dr. Thoreau Strickland.
Opium is one of the main ingredients of Strickland's medication. Never a good move.
Nee, inderdaad. Opium. Waar is dat briefje nou ook gevonden, hè? Kan ik niet zien. Opium. Enter at your own risk. Is dit weer een safe house? Weet ik niet. Hier staat dus een soldaat.
Lively! It's on to us! Get their weapons ready! We found one! Over there! There's one of them vermin!
Hup, aanpakken. Niet stoer doen jullie. Is dit een kistje? Nee, dat is geen kistje. Hier ligt nog een lichaam. Bullets. Hier loopt een bloedspoor. Ja, dat zou best wel eens van die man kunnen zijn die wij zoeken. Hier lopen ook weer wat skulls. Die hier aan het feeden zijn. Zo. Even uit de weg geruimd. Screw and grease. Hier ligt wel een kistje. Er zitten dan mogelijk nog belangrijke dingen in. Find Sean Hampton at the docks. Kistjes openen. Hier ligt ook weer een lichaam.
This is Braille. I need someone who can read this.
Cure for blindness. Hier staan 3 skulls voor de deur.
And I will show you how a wench does business. Get me here. Get out.
Nou, ook allemaal aangepakt. Moeten we hier nog iemand redden? Ja, er staat iemand. Hier zit, er ligt ook een dooi op de bank. Nou, ga je even rustig flesje drinken.
Are you all right, sir? What are you doing in a place like this?
I'm not sure that's any of your business.
I hope you realize that staying here will put your life at great risk.
Pah! I'm not afraid of these guards of Priwen, or whatever these thugs call themselves. I can still kick some respect into those youngsters.
I wasn't specifically
Agressieve man.
referring to them, but are you really after these men? Why?
They took my boy. I've had no news since he joined that crazy gang. So I decided to come and find him myself, to get some answers.
I see. But as I said, your life
Archer
is at risk if you
would
stay
be.
here. And I'm not referring to the gangs either. You should leave, sir.
Well, this part of town used to be nicer, let's say. Perhaps you're right. This isn't the best way to save Andrew.
Dat denk ik ook niet. Ik kan ook verder niet met hem praten. Wat is dit voor huis? Het lijkt een leeg huis. Dus uit het kastje kan ik wel wat uithalen nog. Silver mirror, cigarette case. Archer Woodbeat, ja, die staat er buiten, die hebben we net gezien. Bloody letter.
There is a name engraved under the blood on the back of the case. Jack Gillingham. Maybe I should return this watch to his family.
Jack Gillingham. Heb ik ergens een Gillingham al ontmoet? Dat weet ik niet. Jack Gillingham. Nou goed, we gaan dan maar toch weer naar Sean Hampton zoeken. Mochten we Jack Gillian tegenkomen, dan komt dat vanzelf. Unknown. Is daar een vrouw en een man? Hier is een vrouw en een man die ik nog niet ken. Laat ik daar eens mee gaan praten.
Something, sweetie.
Good evening, miss. I am Dr. Reed. May I ask you a few questions?
Who are you? What do you want?
As I just told you, I'm a doctor. From the Pembroke Hospital, actually.
The Pembroke Hospital, you say? I ain't paying any bill left by Clay.
I'm not here to collect payment, miss.
Miss Edwina Cox.
Ah, dit is de vrouw van Clay Cox. Haha, de vrouw van Clay Cox. Laten we daar eens mee gaan praten.
What can you tell me about your work?
I'm a businesswoman. I buy and sell things, and I send my wet boot boys after anyone who don't play nice with me.
Gang member and shopkeeper. Can't be easy running double shifts.
If you're interested, I may find use of a doctor who can freely walk across the city, you know.
You're quite blunt, aren't you?
I like people who know what they want and say what they think. This is a time of great opportunity for those ready to embrace their destiny.
I'm not interested in a career in the criminal underworld, Miss Cox.
Fair enough. Stay away from us then, if you don't want to get hurt or worse.
Since
wat
my
ga je
return
doen,
from
jongen?
the war, I don't feel that concerned by threats, knives, or even bullets, if you must know.
That's exactly what that stupid trade unionist claimed after he attacked one of us. Booth and I reminded him a bullet beats words every time.
Booth Digby.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
You can't trust anyone around here. As soon as you lower your guard, you can be sure some arsehole will take advantage of you.
You sound like you're thinking of somebody in particular.
Take the gravediggers of Southwark. They must pay me every week, but it looks like they forgot who gave them permission to steal from the dead.
Looting corpses in a mass grave. That is a new low.
Whatever. Hey, since you're a doctor and all, maybe you can access that forbidden area and remind those bastards what they owe.
Really? Don't you think that's a little bit excessive?
Moeten wij Muscle gaan spelen voor een criminele organisatie? Is dat wat ze van ons vraagt?
You still use your husband's name, Edwina. Why is that?
Why shouldn't I? He may be a bloody bastard, but I'm still his wife and his name means something round here.
You never paid him a visit at the Pembroke Hospital, did you?
And I don't intend to. In Clay's case, I'm not against a medical mistake or a little help from the Spanish flu.
Ze mag gaan, maar niet echt, heb ik het idee.
Tell me about the man you and Booth killed, Edwina.
The bastard killed one of us and received retribution. There's nothing else to say.
Oké.
And your conscience is clear. You kill without hesitation.
Violence is an efficient tool, Dr. Reed, when used properly.
So you decide who lives and who dies, just like that.
Yes, Doctor. Just like that. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm saying it's my way of dealing with troublemakers.
What happened exactly?
I don't know and I don't care. One of ours was killed by that communist bastard. But he didn't brag
Communist
for long.
bastard.
So you
Dat
have no
waren
idea what
die
really happened.
Dimitrescu of
But
zo.
you executed him anyway.
No one messes with the wet boot boys, Doctor. This is our territory and this is our law.
Can I see what you have to
Ik als
say?
te
As long
koop
as you
heeft.
have money, I'll show you all I have.
Oké, misschien kan ik ook wel dingen verkopen die ik niet gebruik. Nee, dat kan niet. Ja, alleen die truncheon, die wil ze hebben. Oké. Nou, wat kopen we er meer? Common trigger part, common handle part. Aluminum. Ja, dat kunnen we altijd gebruiken. Voor het upgraden van dat wapen. Maar goed, verder niks bijzonders. Ik ben op zoek naar, hoe heet die
Hello
dude?
again, Dr. Reed. What do you want?
Sean Hampton.
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where I could find him?
The sad saint? I heard he was mugged or something.
Yes, he was. But he left hospital recently.
You don't say. Well, I suppose it's good news for the homeless and the useless. Ask them, they must know something.
Goodbye, Miss Cox.
The homeless and the useless. Booth Digby. Hebben we nog niet mee gepraat. Hij heeft wel een pistool in zijn hand.
Good evening, sir.
Who the fuck are you? Don't you see I'm busy here?
Dr. Jonathan Reed, that's who I am. And who are you?
Ah, some fancy gentleman we've got here. Clear off. We don't want strangers on our streets.
So you won't tell me your name, then?
The name is Booth Digby. Maybe I'll ask my boys to break one or two of your bones, just so you remember it.
Laten we hem even ondervragen.
Kind of vigilante patrolling these streets at night.
Something like that, but the police aren't in charge here. We are, see?
Oké.
So you're a concerned criminal, is that it?
Using funny jokes about me and my boys, are you? Fuck. You must have some balls.
I saw many men like you during the war, Mr. Digby. Greedy little cockroaches who feed on despair.
I could kill you for saying that. But, nah. You've been a soldier, I can respect that.
So, tell me about your gang, then.
What? Have you got a death wish? You really want me to answer that?
Well, yes. You seem so proud of your status. Why not tell me who you're with?
Precies. Geef ons informatie.
I'm the boss, all right? The wet boot boys work for me. All of them. Situation round here is better than other districts because of us. Because of me.
Hij heeft wel vertrouwen in zichzelf. Dat
What can you tell me
kunnen we wel
about this
zeggen.
part of town?
Things ain't that bad thanks to us. We give people what they need, and we control this borough.
Well, you're not doing a very good job. People are still dying here like everywhere else.
Yeah, well, we can't be everywhere all the time. And Edwina says if we can find more guns, we could be more efficient.
More efficient? Really? You should probably tell Edwina that guns are useless against diseases and infections.
Incredible. You know what? You're lucky she can't hear you right now. She's more smart than patient. My sweet queen of the docks.
Ze hebben fix, lijkt het.
Do you need medical help, sir?
I feel fine, Dr. Reed.
Oké. Personal questions.
Tell me about the man you killed, Booth. What happened?
One of us had been killed, so we had to retaliate. That's the whole story.
There has to be more to it than that.
No, really. One of us got killed, so the killer had to die. That's how things have always been done round here. No one gives a shit.
I think you're wrong. Maybe the docks have always been violent, but you can't say the living don't suffer because of it.
And then what? Let the commies and the anarchists rule? Nah. We're the wet boot boys. Our fathers died on these docks and they belong to us.
Oké.
Do you know where I can find Sean Hampton? I need to talk to him.
The sad saint. Why on earth do you want to talk to him?
He was one of my patients at the Pembroke Hospital.
Oh, yeah. I heard the poor bastard had been abducted by some cunt. You better ask Tom Watts. He knows Sean Hampton well.
Tom Watts, dus die man van de kroeg,
Goodbye,
toch?
Mr. Digby.
Waar we in het begin zijn geweest. Edwina, heb jij nog wat nieuws voor ons nu we met
Good evening.
jouw vriend hebben
Hello
gepraat?
again, Dr. Reed. What do you want?
Ja.
Booth Digby looks at you with love-struck eyes. Tell me, Edwina, is the feeling mutual?
You have no idea how refreshing it can be for a woman to receive all the pleasure she needs. For once.
I'll take your word for it.
What is it, Doctor? A woman's not supposed to talk about these things.
I'm not that easily shocked, Miss Cox. You can speak freely about your lover if you so wish.
The poor bastard is good to me, if you must know. He makes me feel good. And that's a first.
So you're just like any other couple, after all, are you not?
Yeah, we're so ordinary that I'd put a bullet in his head if he ever cheated on me.
Gevaarlijke vrouw.
Goodbye, Miss Cox.
Dat bij hem weer eens navragen. Wat hij daarvan vindt.
Listen to what the idiot had to say first.
Hallo, ik kan niet met hem praten. Waarom niet? Oké, ik kan niet met hem praten.
Foolish girl and a pre-principal.
Hier zijn nog 2 mensen die ik nog niet ken. Er ligt ook iemand hier dood te zijn.
Mark my words, miss.
Not a drop of blood left in his body. This is the work of a vampire.
I'm a tracker of these creatures.
Oh, dit is die kroeg waar ik in het begin was.
You'd best be off to your hunting then. For if the sewer dog is back.
Ik kan niet praten met deze 2 mensen.
He needs a catching.
A sewer dog? What's it look like?
It's an old story. A monster with daggers for teeth and icy claws. He comes of a sudden, nighttime, claiming innocence, then vanishes.
Teeth, claws, murders by night? Your sewer dog is my business. He's the kind of prey I hunt, milady.
Kijk, nu kunnen we wel praten met deze mensen. Even kennis maken.
That's a first. Customers who make that much mess rarely come back. Never mind in fancy togs.
I'm much more myself than when we first met. By the way, I'm Jonathan, Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome back to the Turquoise Turtle then, Doctor. I'm Sabrina Cavendish. How can I help you?
What can you tell me about this area?
People don't appreciate that line of questioning round here. You best be more careful with what you say, sir.
You look concerned, Miss Cavendish.
This is a bad borough. Most people I know are afraid. Most locals will rob you blind, or worse. You best mind your step.
No one feels safe. Ik ben niet bang, nee.
I have nothing to fear from the people round here, miss.
Yeah, I'm a brave woman myself, Dr. Reed, but I'd be a fool to think I'm invincible.
This place seems, how shall I put it, very colourful. I'm sure it has plenty of stories to tell.
We get people of all sorts here. It's that rare place in the docks where you can have a drink without being murdered. At least it's not happened yet.
So this bar is neutral territory then?
Yeah. Tom's convinced this is something the locals need. No one ever draws a weapon here. That's one of the reasons I accepted the job.
Nee, dat lijkt me een goeie hier.
Your boss must be quite the negotiator to force such an agreement.
Yeah. Tom's a great bloke. Mr. Hampton, who runs the night asylum, he's the only other man that's able to keep peace around here.
Nou, toevallig zoeken we Mr. Hampton.
Excuse my curiosity, but where exactly are you from, Miss Cavendish?
Something bothering you? What, my name? Or my complexion?
I'm sorry if I worried you. I was just curious to find out if you know this part of town well.
Nosy. My dad was a sailor from Bombay, and my mum was a maid born up in Glasgow. They got married in London. And here I am.
Believe me, I never judge someone on their place of birth or the colour of their skin.
If that's true, you'd be one of the few not to make fun of me. Just you, Tom, Dyson, Miss Fishburne, and of course Mr. Hampton.
Nou, zullen we eens vragen naar Mr. Hampton? Nee, nog niet. We hebben nog een opmerking.
Sabrina, tell me about your true feelings for your boss.
I love Tom. Not ashamed of it. Don't care if the customers joke about it neither.
Who's mocking you?
I mean, we're always together. People will talk, won't they?
Does Tom love you?
Yeah, but he's always reluctant to take it further. It's not because I'm younger, or because of the colour of my skin. He hates jokes about us.
Nou, daar gaan we.
Miss Cavendish, would you be willing to help me locate Sean Hampton?
You better ask Tom, sir.
Why not answer me directly?
We respect the privacy of our customers here, sir. Only Tom can decide who to speak to and what he'll say to them.
Oké.
Goodbye, Miss Cavendish.
Nou, die andere dude.
Good evening, sir. Have you witnessed any suspicious activity or strange events recently?
Hij is een investigator, lijkt het.
More to the point, who are you?
My name is Ichabod Throgmorton, vampire hunter extraordinaire and warden of the East End.
A vampire hunter? Really?
I know what you're thinking. I'm just another lunatic howling at the moon, but I'm not. The bloodsuckers exist, and they're close.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'd like to hear more about these vampires you're hunting.
A man of science? Well, I'll be glad to enlighten you.
Nou, vertel het maar weer eens.
What can you tell me about this neighborhood?
Did you hear about what happened to Jack Gillingham? Poor boy. It's a shame I wasn't around to protect him.
It's
We
impossible.
hebben het horloge van Jack Gillingham gevonden. En een briefje. Dat moesten we aan de familie afgeven.
But it's my duty. I am convinced Jack Gillingham was killed by a vampire. These evil rodents are spreading like a plague.
So, how exactly are you protecting these people? I'm curious.
I patrol late at night, investigating anything unusual. I try and encourage people to stay indoors, but people are careless.
How do you identify a vampire?
It's simple, really. They can't stand daylight. They're afraid of garlic and holy symbols. They also cannot enter a house without being invited.
Have you ever killed one of these creatures? Yourself, I mean.
Of course I have. What kind of question is that? It's a dirty business, believe me.
Can I help in any way?
Actually, yes. I plan to put up posters to alert the population to the vampire
Posters
threat.
ophangen.
You're asking me to paste posters about vampires around the docks?
If you wouldn't mind. If you did that, then I can focus on my patrols.
Posters ophangen. Wat een klus. Wat een klus.
Have you heard of the Guard of Priwen?
Of course. They're dedicated hunters. A little militant for my taste, but they do let anyone join.
Were you ever tempted to join the Guard yourself?
I did think about it, but I'm more of a silent hunter. They're more of a sanitary militia.
Ja, inderdaad. Agressieve mensen.
So you hunt alone? That sounds risky.
Vampires are just like every other predator. They hunt when they're hungry and follow certain patterns. It's just a matter of observation and patience.
I'm looking for Sean Hampton. Can you help me, Mr. Throgmorton?
The sad saint? He should be at his night asylum at this hour, but I cannot tell you how to find it, sorry.
Really? Why is that?
It's nothing personal, Doctor. I'm sure your intentions are good, but people who sleep there, they have plenty of reasons to hide.
I could make you tell me, but I respect your refusal. You really believe Sean is a saint, don't you?
All I will say is this. Gossip has it that when he was a child, he was molested. By a priest of all people. Funny thing is, though, it only strengthened his faith.
Maybe at
Weer
least
wat
you can
geleerd
tell
over
me
hem.
who could help me find him.
Tell you what, go and chat with Tom Watts. He's a bartender and good judge of character. If he talks to you, then it's fine by me.
Alright. Dan gaan we toch maar met Tom praten nu.
Goodbye. And good hunting, Mr. Throgmorton.
Tom Watts is hier binnen. Dyson Delaney. Hij heeft fatigue. Daar heb ik een medicijn voor bij de hand. Dus ik kan hem helpen.
Whatever.
Don't you recognize me? We met a few nights ago.
Don't take it personally. I spent a lot of energy forgetting what I did the night before.
Yes, you had definitely drunk too much then as well. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
I'm Dyson Delaney. I'll try to remember you. This time.
Inebriation aside, do you need medical help?
Yes. I feel sicker than usual these days.
Nou, hier medicijn voor jou.
Take this then. And perhaps you could try to slow down the alcohol intake too.
Hey, Doc, you don't really want me to stop the only remedy I can afford.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Delaney?
I drink. I drink in the morning and at noon. I drink at night.
Hij is een
and I
dronkenlap.
drink some more.
Don't you work at all?
I'd love to, but I don't have the time. Didn't I tell you? Drink in the morning and at noon. I drink at night.
Why do you drink so much?
Maybe it's because I prefer dying slowly. Death can be so abrupt. Personally, I like to see mine coming at my own pace.
You sound very sad, sir.
That's because I am, Doc.
Oké. Hij is sad.
Is there anything in particular that you like about this part of town? Except for the cheap drinks, I mean.
How dare you say such a thing? I love this neighborhood. So friendly. So joyful.
Why are you so cynical?
Cynicism is the polite way to express despair, Doctor.
No reason at all to rejoice, then? Life is hopeless and then we die, is that it?
Let me tell you a story.
Nou, vertel het eens.
Go on.
few years ago, when I believed a resolute man could change things around here for good, a tragedy occurred nearby.
What kind of tragedy?
It was a bomb. Bomb that exploded and killed many people. Metal and blood everywhere. Shouts, fire, broken window of the shoe shop, the torn street light.
You lost people you loved that day, didn't you?
I've lost everything. But you know what the worst part is? I don't even remember where it happened. I've drunk so much to forget it. Now I can't remember where it was. I can't pay my
je zei het shoe window.
Sorry, Mr. Delaney.
It's okay. If you ever find the place, just leave a flower for me there. Even if you tell me where it is. I'm not sure I'd memorize it.
Is there anything in particular that you like about this part of town? Except for the cheap
Dat hebben we net ook al gevraagd.
How dare you?
Personal questions, hebben we die nog? Ja.
Surely you must have had dreams and expectations when you were young, like everybody else.
Sure. I wanted things to change. To really change. And to change for good. The bigger the dream, the harder the fall.
Sounds like you were an idealist, which is honorable.
No, sir. I was an anarchist and I believed that exclusive property is a robbery in nature. I wanted a new world to rise from the ashes, Dr. Reed.
Do you really think the world is that bad?
No, I believe we all can choose to make it better. But most of us are too weak, too corrupt and too guilty. I failed for sure, but others will come.
I want to know more about your past as an anarchist, Dyson.
I'm still an anarchist, Doctor, make no mistake. I just reject violence as a tool to change the world, unlike my comrades.
Welke comrades?
Do you believe in a bloodless revolution, then?
I do not believe in much anymore, Doctor. But I'll admit I like your idea of peaceful change. I like it a lot.
Do you still see your comrades, then? Even if you don't agree with their methods anymore, I mean.
No. I hope they'll come to share my point of view one day. I'll raise my glass to that splendid idea.
Nou, ga jij lekker bier drinken?
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where I could find him?
I really don't know. I heard he'd been abducted. I don't know if he's back.
Who could tell me then?
About the sad saint. I'll try asking Tom.
Ja, iedereen verwijst ons naar Tom Watts, dus moeten we dat toch maar gaan doen, hè?
Mr. Delaney.
Tom Watts. De man achter de bar.
Good evening, Tom.
Good evening, sir. How are you tonight? Back to the docks, are we?
You remember me then?
Of course I do. You're that man who seemed so lost when he entered my bar a few nights ago.
Thank you for your hospitality. I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way.
I'm still Tom Watts. Welcome back, Doctor.
Kunnen we hem nog nieuwe vragen stellen? Ja.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
It's not that bad. Thanks to people like the sad saint of the East End.
Who?
Sean Hampton, our own private holy figure. Few are foolish enough to make peace with the gangs. Sean is one of them.
Peace with the
How
gangs.
can keep this place open? This part of town doesn't seem particularly safe.
Well, since everybody needs a drink, my pub is considered neutral ground by most groups.
Most groups?
Since I'm here, is there anything I can do?
Well, perhaps, Doctor. Peace partly depends on my stock of gin. With the epidemic, my supplies are running low.
How could a physician help you in this matter?
I have a small warehouse just past the quarantine line. Perhaps, with you being a doctor, you could go there and come back?
Doctors aren't immune to disease, you know. Very well. Show me where it is. I'll see what I can do.
Oh, thank you, sir. Here's the key to get in. You're about to save many dry throats.
Kunnen we ook weer
I
helpen?
see. So you get pressure from all sides about how this place should be run, do you?
Or something like that. Nothing that a few wise words and a bottle of gin can't solve.
You're something of a figurehead around here.
I'm only pouring alcohol for everyone to forget their troubles. Sean Hampton is the one giving them long-term hope.
Hij praat in elk geval wel veel over Sean Hampton.
Why does your waitress feel in danger working on the docks?
This part of town is dangerous for all, but for women it's worse, as always. Sabrina is a brave girl, but she can't help feeling in danger.
Do you think she has good reason to feel this way? Are you not worried about her safety?
Of course I am. The truth is, she's tougher than me deep inside. She just has to learn to control it.
Sabrina seems very fond of you, Tom.
I like her too, I really do. I know I'm her boss, and I'm much older and all. But I like her for sure.
What is bothering you then?
Sabrina is an angry one. She wears it like a coat. I'm not sure I can make her shed that anger. It hurts to see her like that.
No, Sean Hampton.
Tom, I need to find Sean Hampton as quickly as possible. I've been told you could help me.
I heard the sad saint was recovering at Pembroke Hospital. Did he leave or something?
I believe he returned to his flock. Can you confirm that?
Oh, I bet you're right. Sean can't help but worry about the poor and sick. Oh, I guess it has something to do with what happened to him as a baby.
Please, tell me.
Well, I don't like to gossip, but I heard that the sad saint was abandoned as a baby in front of a Catholic orphanage in Dublin. That would explain his faith.
Een ander verhaal dan dat we net hebben gehoord.
The important thing is I find him, quickly.
Why not try his night asylum? He takes care of those who need a meal or a roof there.
Where is it?
It's in an old warehouse, northwest of here. Just follow the bank to the west and go north when you reach the end of the pier.
Nou, dat is te doen.
Goodbye, Mr. Watts.
Follow the bank to the west, then go north. Sabrina Cavendish. Ik blijf een beetje rondkijken. Hè. In het geval hier nog mensen zijn. Of beesten. Oh, hier is het. Er is ook een spoor van bloed. Jimmy the Spark Barlow. Prewen Gunner. Dit zijn vijanden.
Seems like the guard of Prewen is on Sean Hampton's trail too.
Hij heeft een vlammenwerper. Hij stuurt ook meerdere vijanden op mij af. Ik denk inderdaad mensen met vlammenwerpers. Ik heb te weinig stamina. Hij is dood. Ik moet even healen.
The wounds on this corpse are deep. The result of rabid rage. If this is Sean's doing, he's become a murderous beast.
A murderous beast. Nou ja, hij is dus niet hier binnen, dat is wel duidelijk. Linkerskaal, moet ik naar buiten? Moet ik hier binnen blijven? Wat is de bedoeling? Deze deur moet ik uit. Zit hier wat in deze kist? Nee. Hier is wel een grote kist, er zitten wel dingen in. Lead plate. Daar zijn de soldaten. Hier zijn skulls. Laten we die maar eventjes weer gaan consumeren. Hup, spullen meenemen.
This poor man has just been slaughtered by a vampire. The body's still warm.
The body's still warm. Hier hebben die Prewen gasten, die hebben hier een vampier gekild. Moet voor mijn objective moet ik naar beneden.
Over there! There's one of them vermin!
Prewen Chaplain. Een brawler, een rookie. En zo blijf ik toch een beetje zoekende. Night Shelters Vicinity. Ja, hier ergens moet hij zijn. Unknown. Dit is een mens. Het zijn twee mensen. Laten we maar eens mee praten dan.
People are still working at this.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. May I have your attention for a minute?
Good evening, sir. My name is
Giselle Paxton.
But I don't have time for men like you.
Have we met before?
No. But I just need
Men
to
like
fancy
you.
clothes to know that you must be desperate to visit the docks at night.
That's quite judgmental of you.
Sir, I've led enough strikes when I had a job to identify you as an enemy of the working class.
May I ask what you do for a living?
I'm killing myself scraping for a living. And you? Have you ever had to struggle in your entire life?
As I told you, I'm a doctor. You have to work a lot to earn that title.
Oh, a doctor. Born with money in a nice house, were we? Was Daddy a banker or a doctor himself?
Why such hatred? Are you judging me by my clothes and my job?
Course I am. Fuck, you're so blind. You don't even see your privilege. Lazy people like you disgust me.
Lazy people like you. No,
What can you tell me about this vicinity?
Tell you what, just spend a few weeks here and then ask me that question again. If you're still alive, I mean.
If you have something to say, say it. I'm getting tired of all this.
Oh, you want information instead? Well, here's some for you. Giselle Paxton does not like you at all, Doctor.
Nee, dat was ik al achter.
You don't know me, Miss Paxton, and yet you see me as an enemy.
Your manners, your clothes, your words tell me everything about you, sir. I know your kind, and you don't belong here.
You're right. I have never suffered from poverty. But that doesn't mean I don't fight it and its consequences.
I really doubt you ever had to fight for anything in your life, Dr. Reed.
En deze vrouw is niet heel vriendelijk.
You speak of strikes and class enemy. Am I right to assume you're involved in trade union activism?
You bet I am. Well, I was. Nowadays, I'm just another worker blacklisted by the big companies.
You lost your job because of your beliefs.
Those bastards really hate a worker who refuses slave wages and unsafe conditions, especially when it's a woman.
Isn't the whole point of trade unions to help workers in need? Why don't they support you?
A few nights back, I lost the money my companions had asked me to hide. With me and my sister being penniless, they thought I stole it.
What really happened?
I drank too much that night. Strange men saw me count the money in that bar. Some sort of militia in uniform. I'm sure they robbed me.
Maar dat kan ze zich niet herinneren.
I'm looking for Sean Hampton. Can you help me?
What is it you want? Does he owe you money? Has he displeased your Royal Highness? I'm no snitch, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Well,
nou, zij gaat ons niks vertellen in elk geval.
Goodbye, Miss Paxton.
Kijken wie daar dan nog aan het poetsen is daar beneden. Hier is ook nog unknown namelijk.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Jonathan.
Zou dat de zus zijn?
Can I help you?
A fancy doctor lurking at night by the docks? Not fishy at all.
And what about you? Working outside at night in this dangerous part of town?
You want to know my secret? I'm trying to earn money. And I'm Lottie Paxton, by the way.
Ja, dat is dus de zus van die andere vrouw.
Is it not dangerous to work here at night?
As long as I have good legs, I can run away from trouble. The sad saint now provides me and my sister a bed and a roof. I don't want to lose that.
Are you homeless, Miss Paxton?
Mr. Hampton's night asylum is our new home now. It's a safe place for me and my sister.
What can you tell me about the sad saint?
It's just the nickname of Sean Hampton, the sad saint of the East End. He gave me shelter, and he is not always sad.
Zo leren we dan toch weer wat, hè?
How are things here?
It may be okay for a strong girl like me, but a dandy doctor from the city like yourself, you better watch your back, Mr. Reed.
You really think I should go back to a safer place, miss?
No. I think you had better stay and help as many people as you can. Just avoid the wet boot boys. Those bastards are worse than
die heb ik ook al ontmoet. De leider zelfs.
Which local dangers must I avoid?
Well, the gangs, the thieves, the drunks, the jobless. A man with your fancy clothes will attract a lot of attention.
Well, I am not someone so easily intimidated.
Glad to hear that. And if you get into trouble, you can always seek help at Sean Hampton's shelter. No one would dare to be violent there.
Nou, dan gaan we daar maar eens even naar op zoek. Kunnen we nog persoonlijke vragen stellen? Nee.
I'm looking for Sean Hampton. Can you help me?
Mr. Hampton must be in his office at the night asylum he manages, I suppose. Why do you want to see him?
He was a patient of mine at the Pembroke Hospital, but he left abruptly.
I see. Well, Mr. Hampton is a discreet and dedicated man. I'm sure you'll find him soon enough.
Okay, in his office. Hey, Sean Hampton. Nou, dat was makkelijker dan ik dacht. Ja, nou hier staat hij. Eerst even zijn spullen stelen. Folded paper. Dyson Delaney is gered van de verdrinkingsdood. Door Sean Hampton? Vraagteken. Ik stil eerst even al zijn spullen. En nu gaan we met hem praten.
Why the long face, Doctor?
Is it all that worries you, Sean? My long face? Really?
This is a blessing for me to become a Skal. Immortality gives me more time and energy, if truth be known, to run a shelter. What more could I want?
Since you left Pembroke, the amount of blood that has been shed, it's hard to believe you, Sean.
Ask what you will. As the Lord is my shepherd, I will not speak a lie to you.
Nou, dat klinkt goed.
Aren't you afraid of what you've become?
We are blessed, Doctor. Can't you see it? The Lord has made us able to walk amongst the plague and aid those that need it.
Do you think this is a blessing when God's own house and holy symbols repel you?
If that is your burden, Doctor, so be it. But I do not fear the cross, nor am I forced to take the life of another. My kind doesn't share your imperfections.
But you must drink blood now to survive.
No, not your scripture. Whoso eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood hath eternal life, and I will raise him up at the last day. So saith the Lord. I only need to eat flesh, no blood.
Hij is wel een man van het geloof.
Why return here?
This is my home. These people are my flock. You will always find me where I am needed.
A helpful Skal.
Wonders never cease. Skal managing an asylum.
And what of you? A vampire doctor? Meals laid out before you. Yet you restrain.
And what about William Bishop? He tried to take care of you. But this hunger, this thirst, cannot be restrained.
Alas, poor William. He had a good soul, but was weak in spirit. He could not shake the thirst for booze, never mind blood. But have faith. My will is far stronger than his.
Why did you kill Miss Jones at the Pembroke Hospital?
Killed old Harriet? You must be mad, Doctor. Why would I do such a thing?
But you were close to her.
Of course. But she was lost, separated from the fold. She did not see the hand of the divine in my blessed condition.
So you claim Miss Jones' death was not by your hand, nor the other incidents at Pembroke?
Though Harriet was an angry, spiteful woman, she was one of God's creatures. I have nothing but love.
Hij heeft geen idee meer van, denk ik.
People have been murdered. I've seen the blood. I don't believe you can be trusted.
Have a little faith, Doctor. If you will follow, I will guide you to the light.
How do you plan to do that?
Take this key of the old sewers. The entrance is by the riverbank, south from here. There you'll find all the proof you need.
Ik twijfel.
I will not look kindly on you if you're trying to trick me.
I'll be here when you return. If you still think I'm a threat then, well, I surrender myself to your judgment.
Sean Hampton's secret. Ik stel voor dat we dat gaan doen in een volgend deel. Aangezien we hier weer in een nieuwe locatie zijn. Kan ik hier nog met deze mensen praten? Zijn die nog nieuw? Nee, dat is Gazelle Paxton, die is niet nieuw. Hier zijn nog allemaal kistjes met spullen. Die zit op slot. Hier is ook niet nog een extra hideout die ik, waar ik nog iets kan pakken volgens mij. Een beetje kan craften. Of is dat hier nog wel? Burnt letter. Ah, de Wet Boot Boys. Hebben druk uitgeoefend op de Paxtons. Zo lijkt het. Hier ligt nog geld. Hier staat nog een kistje. Nou, we nemen alles mee, hè, wat bruikbaar is. We nemen alles mee wat bruikbaar is. Hier is nog een kantoor. Dit is open, dit is open. Dit is open. Nou, ik was op zoek naar een workbench, maar dat is hier niet. Dus dan zullen we toch gewoon verder moeten. Aangezien deze ruimte niet als shelter fungeert. Lottie Paxton, daar hadden we iets nieuws mee. Hadden we net gevonden, die brief. Oh, hier ligt nog een brief. Handwritten prayer. Ook Lottie Paxton. Daar zullen we eens mee praten dan. Gaan we daarna saven voordat we hier de dingen uitgaan. Dit is niet nieuw.
Lottie, tell me about the wet boot boys. I know they've threatened you.
Edwina Cox wanted me to provide her with information about Mr. Hampton's resources. I refused.
Is that not dangerous?
Fuck them and their lies. They claim they protect the interests of the neighborhood, but they are just greedy parasites like all the rest.
Ah.
I respect your courage, Miss Paxton, and I hope life will never wear you down.
Dr. Reed, you know how to make a girl blush. I am glad you came to the docks, whatever your real reasons are.
Lottie, tell me about the death of your mother.
Giselle killed her, plain and simple. She killed her with
Giselle
her
killed her.
her laziness and her complaints.
That's quite a statement. You can't kill someone because you're fickle.
Mother was very ill, but I forgave Giselle. What I couldn't stand was how she cried at her funeral like she was the one left alone.
Giselle is the only family you have left. Don't you think it's time you forgave her?
Sometimes words are harder to forgive than acts, Dr. Reed.
Perhaps your sister is not as tough as you are.
I know that, and I don't blame her. It just makes me sad that my own sister is the person I understand the least.
Goodbye, Miss Paxton.
Kijk, toch weer wat informatie opgedaan. En dan gaan wij nu hier een checkpoint van maken. En dan in het volgende deel... locate the sewers entrance. Give a dog a bad name. Gaan we dan die... God, wat was zijn naam ook alweer? De sewer dog, natuurlijk. De sewers entrance dog. Gaan wij de sewer dog vinden? Is dat wat er gaat gebeuren in het volgende deel? Ik weet het niet. Maar we gaan het samen beleven in de sewers. Ik hoop dat jullie dat met mij samen willen doen. Zie ik jullie graag weer de volgende keer.